In this next video, we're gonna make a kicked up home/restaurant version of a local favorite, Ahi Katsu.
I'll make the tempura batter and the shoyu dipping sauce.
Sounds good.
So I have flour and cornstarch here, and I'm adding in water and a beaten egg that you're helping me beat, and a pinch of salt.
You can put a little bit more.
And can you put some pepper in there for me? And just whisk it.
Yeah, you want to get it smooth.
It's really thick.
Just hang up for a second. Let me see. Hang up for a second. This tempura batter is going to come out a little bit on the thicker side than like regular tempura batter, because this is actually going to be used as the sort of the glue that's going to stick to the panko for frying, which is going to become our katsu. So we got that together. Why don't you go ahead and start the sauce here?
So I have mayonnaise.
Yep.
And this is dry mustard paste.
Yeah. So it's Coleman's dry mustard that's been rehydrated with water till it's a nice paste consistency. Got some shoyu, and then just go ahead and whisk it. I have a whisk here for you.
Whoops. Okay.
Check it. Just want to try to get the lumps out. Now what we want to do is taste it. I'm going to taste it just to make sure it tastes okay. Now this is going to replicate, if you go to some restaurants, some of the more famous restaurants, they make something like a soy mustard butter sauce or a beurre blanc. And while those are awesome to make, they're time consuming and they can break. So this is a version that you can make at home that's indestructible. And you can make it ahead, put it in the fridge, and you can use it for all kinds of other stuff too. Okay?
Great.
All right, so let's put this on the side for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this down here. Let that sit. Now, usually we're doing this really quickly, but if you're when you do this at home, make the tempura batter ahead of time, and then put it in the fridge so that one, it can relax, and two, you want it to be nice and cold. It's easier to work with when it's cold. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna just put this on the side for now and let it sit there while we prep the ahi. So what I'm using here, this is sashimi grade ahi. I got an ahi here. I'm gonna cut a slab of this off. But you want to, because we're gonna serve this, we're gonna fry it, but we want it to be rare. We want the rare pieces to be nice and like this. So you have to use a good grade when you're gonna do this dish, right? If you're gonna do it well done or fry it all the way, it's okay to use poke grade or fry grade ahi. But again, for our purposes here, I want to use a nicer piece. Okay.
Wow.
So what I'm gonna do is just take my knife here, and I'm gonna cut a block. So I'm cutting straight through the eye here, and I have 2 blocks. I'm gonna take this now, I'm actually gonna cut this into 2 pieces. So now we have 2 blocks, and these are the blocks that we're gonna use to batter, and then we're gonna fry it. I have nori here, and I'm going to roll it in the nori. I have 1 sheet here, and then here's my second piece that I'm going to roll up here. Now, depending on how you want to do this, you can go and do, sometimes you can do 2 sheets. If you want to have a real separation between the batter and the nori and the ahi, you can do that. For now, I'm just going to go with, we're going to go with 1. And then what we're going to do is I'm heating up the oil, we'll come back, and then I'll have the batter and everything, and we'll go ahead and fry. Okay, so we have our nori wrapped ahi blocks. We have our tempura batter that was rested and it's cool, and we have panko. So go ahead and put the piece in there, roll it in there, get it nicely coated, and then you're going to put it in a panko here. Drop it right in the center. Okay, perfect. Nice.
You make me do the dirty work, I see.
Everyone has to start somewhere. Okay. Hang on now. So, hang on for a
Oops,
second.
I forgot to get the ends of that one.
No, that's all right. That's good. Hang on. So this is what it looks like after it's coated, right? Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and do these a little bit ahead of time, put them in the fridge. But don't go ahead. Don't do them too far ahead because what'll happen is it'll start to get soggy. You know, the moisture in their fridge. But I'm burying them in the panko, right? And then I'm pushing the panko into the batter so that it holds it. So now I have hot oil right here. I'm going to test it to make sure it's hot. And it looks like it's nice and hot. Got my tongs ready. I'm going to drop it in.
And you can put the second one in too.
It depends on how much oil you have and how hot it is. Because this, I want to take the time and let you see this actually happen. Actually, go ahead and turn the heat up a little bit, that dial right there. Oh, that's good. You want the oil hot enough to brown the katsu.
Which is the outside, right?
Right, so it's nice and brown, but have the inside be rare. And that's another reason why when you look at my block, I use a pretty good sized block so that you're playing the game of browning and cooking and pulling it out enough time so that it's still rare in the center. But this happens very quickly, 30 to 40 seconds.
So that's
really,
why the heat
quickly.
has to be really high.
It has to be on the higher side, yes. And if it's not hot enough too, the problem you're going to run into is that all the oil, because it's cool, soaks in. So you don't want that to happen either. So like 30 to 40 seconds, you make sure they're nice and golden brown. And this is almost looking pretty close, yeah? What do you think? I'm going to pull this one out, drain it. Then we're going to put the other one in, cook that one, and we'll have two pieces to work with. But this is actually ready to come out.
It's like deep fried sashimi.
I guess so. You like to use that word deep fried, don't you?
Because that's what it is.
See, this one doesn't quite go in.
Oh.
But
so
it'll be right.
do you add more oil?
That's a good question, because if you added more oil right now,
it'd bring the temperature
would drop
down.
the temperature. So I'm just going to let it sit, and then I'll flip it, and then it'll catch up. So we're going to let this sit, and then we're going to fry this. We'll come back. We're going to slice. We're going to plate, and we get to eat.
And dip.
And
eat. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got our deep fried, our flash fried Ahi Katsu. We've got our soy mustard mayo. We have a little bit of really nice namasu. And then we're going to shingle this, and then we're going to do what I like to do, and that's eat. So we'll go for the slice and see what we got here. Now, the end's always a little bit more cooked because that's where it was, right? You know what I mean? The end's going to be cooked. The center is what you want to be nice and really beautifully medium rare, kind of medium inside. So, if I did this right, then it looks pretty.
That looks pretty.
Secret. So we have our katsu here that I'm going to put on the platter. And we're going to go ahead and like lightly shingle it out. Oops.
It's so fancy.
That's what I said. This is quasi-restaurant home style, but you can do this at home.
Do you eat it as an appetizer?
Well, you can eat it. It depends. I guess for me,
how do you want to serve it?
It depends how much you give and what you serve it with. So if I had rice, that could be an entree. We're doing it like an appetizer because I hear you like to do things poo-poo style. But we have our Ahi Katsu with a little bit of namasu here and our soy mustard butter sauce.
Wow.
So you can go first. Ladies first. But you see the lines that I was talking about?
Yeah.
The nori line?
That's so nice.
I'm going to go for these two.
Wow. Crispy.
So you can taste the ahi. It tastes crunchy. It's rare. You got some soyu, a little bit of heat. I'm going to have a little bit of namasu here just to cleanse my palate.
I'm going to double dip.
I just need a little sake.
Delicious.
For more recipes like this,
visit foodland.com.